John Hamilton stood in the doorway, his face pale and his hands trembling as the officers entered. The house was eerily silent, the only sound the muffled radio chatter from the police. The bathroom, once a place of routine morning starts, now a scene of horror and disbelief. The air was thick with the metallic scent of blood, and Susan lay on the cold, tiled floor, her lifeless eyes staring at the ceiling.
"I tried everything to save her,"
he murmured, his voice breaking. Crime scene investigator Tom Bevel, his face lined with focus and determination, examined the blood spatter. He moved with the precision of a surgeon, knowing that every detail mattered. As he studied the patterns, his eyes narrowed.
"This doesn't add up,"
he muttered to himself. The evidence suggested a struggle, one that contradicted John's account of finding his wife's body. Detective Marcus Lane, a man with a reputation for relentless pursuit of the truth, leaned forward, his eyes fixed on John.
"You say you performed CPR, but the blood patterns tell a different story,"
he said, his tone probing yet calm. John rubbed his temples, his mind a whirlwind of fear and confusion.
"I loved Susan. I would never hurt her,"
he insisted, but doubt hung in the air like a storm cloud. Prosecutor Lisa Kendall, sharp and relentless, presented her case with a precision that cut through the room. She methodically laid out the evidence, the affair, the threats of divorce, the damning blood spatter.
"Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case of love turned into something dark and sinister,"
she declared, her words echoing in the hushed chamber. John sat at the defense table, his heart heavy as he listened to the portrayal of a life he no longer recognized. The foreman stood, clearing his throat. "Foreman, we find the defendant, John Hamilton, guilty of murder," he announced, his voice firm and unwavering. The words struck John like a hammer, the reality of his fate sinking in. His world, once filled with the promise of a bright future, now lay in ruins. The courtroom erupted in whispers, disbelief mixed with vindication. John sat on the narrow bunk, the weight of the verdict pressing down on him. He stared at the gray walls, once a doctor respected and revered, now a prisoner of his own actions, or perhaps of a fate he never saw coming.
"How did it all go so wrong?"
he whispered to himself, the question unanswered in the solitude of his cell. The truth, as elusive as ever, remained a mystery within his heart.